So now I am showered and dressed. I did my hair. I got a little makeup on. I'm even wearing earrings. And it's the same day as when I talked to you about sleeping in my jammies. But I want to talk to you now about eating, another practical thing. Because it seems to me every widow I've talked to has difficulty eating. Initially, while your husband is in the process of dying, you probably have no appetite. At least I didn't. The first 3 days he was in coronary care and on a ventilator, I didn't even know where the hospital cafeteria was. My family members brought food to the room for me because I didn't want to go down to eat. I wasn't hungry, but I also didn't want to leave his side. So you probably dealt with some of that. Then after your husband is gone, there's really two issues in terms of eating. One is loss of appetite. The other is the notion of cooking for yourself. Most of us don't enjoy cooking for just one. I remember when my grandfather died, people would ask my grandma what she was going to eat for supper. She would say, "Oh, I'm just going to open a can of soup." Well, sometimes I feel that way. Sometimes I just have an egg. Sometimes I just have a sandwich, even though I've had a sandwich for lunch. But you've got to eat, even though it doesn't taste good to you, even though you may be choking the food down, which I've done on a regular basis. No appetite, no desire to eat, but I know that eating is what people do to stay alive. So I make myself eat. Of course, people make all kinds of practical suggestions. Fix enough for 2 or 3 and freeze the meal that you don't eat. Save it for some time later. Yeah, okay, that kind of works. Frequently now, grocery stores have meals all prepared in little containers. You can just purchase one and put it in the oven or microwave or whatever. There's lots of ways to deal with it. But, there's some things you'll probably never fix again because they were favorites of your husband's and they remind you too much of him. I probably will never again make a Boston cream pie, which was my husband's favorite birthday dessert. Also, where you eat is an issue. At the moment, I'm sitting at a picnic table in the backyard at my cottage. This would be a lovely place to eat, and I may have some of my meals here. I talked to one widow who's been a widow for many years now, who can't eat at her table anymore. It just reminds her too much of her husband to sit at the table. So she routinely eats in front of the television or someplace else other than the table. When I went back to our retirement home after my husband's death, sat down at the table, there were 2 placemats there. And no one was sitting at the placemat chair where he always sat. And some nights as I sat there and ate, I'd reach over and put my hand on his placemat and pat it, just wishing he was there too. So I know eating may be a problem for you, but please make yourself eat something. Last night I wasn't hungry and I went out for an ice cream cone. And that's all I had for supper, an ice cream cone. But it was something. See you later.